Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Motorhead Garage is presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Welcome to Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. So pickup trucks, tremendously useful, right? Well, if you get a bike or a kayak or something, you want to try to throw it in the truck. It's got to go in the bed. It's going to rattle around. No way to secure it. So you end up with a rack. Well, you can't use the rack if you have a tonneau cover, but there is a solution. It's from our friends at Billy Bars. Now, Nate, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Dave.
You guys came up with a solution here. I can use my tonneau cover with the rack. How does it work?
So it's pretty simple. It's a simple system with 4 brackets, 2 bars, and some hardware. And all we're doing is clamping to the inside of the bed rail and allowing you to secure your belongings with the tonneau cover to keep your truck a truck.
Well, let's look at the brackets themselves to see how those work here. You've got 2 different sizes.
Correct. Yeah, we have a 5-inch and an 8-inch bracket size. They're steel brackets that are powder coated, and what's neat is we have a zinc base below the fine texture powder coat, which gives you extra protection if there is any chipping. We also put some RTV from our friends at Permatex in the cradle here, giving you added protection and corrosion prevention.
And I like the fact that it's double coated here. Let's talk about the rack itself now. You've got the 2 thumb screws there.
Yeah, so our standard sets come with security screws. We also have thumb screws here. And the great thing about our system is that it's easy to take on and off, achievable by one person. And then you can take the bars off if you need bed access. So you would just twist these knobs, or in the case of the security screws, use an impact driver, boom, boom, 4 bolts and the bar's off. The other great thing is we have a T-slot extrusion here. It's aluminum, so you can throw stuff on it and it'll never rust if it's scratched. And then we can add what are called T-nuts into the channel here, allowing to mount all different types of accessories and then kind of whatever the customer can dream of.
And that's a standard T-nut. This is sort of something you've seen before, so it's not like you have to run out and buy special proprietary hardware from it.
No, it's a standard T-slot extrusion that works with a lot of different hardware that you can find on the market.
How do the brackets attach to the side of the truck?
So if you don't have a utility track, in the case of this F-150, we would just clamp in the inner bed lip. So this would sit kind of right behind here, and in between the two would be the bed lip, and you're just clamping. And once the system's fully installed is where you get the stability and strength.
Now you've got a bike on back there, and there's a few extra accessories to go with the bicycles. A lot of stuff that I haven't seen before.
Yeah, so bikes, kayaks, rooftop tents are really popular. We don't have them featured here because they kind of hide the bars. But we got a lot of neat products from other companies as well as some of ours. We use a company called Rocky Mounts, who we absolutely love. They make a piece called the drop top, which allows you to physically lock your piece. A lot of security here in this system.
And talking security here, you can leave your tonneau cover on, which means you can essentially use your truck bed as a trunk when you want to take your bike and hit the trails as well.
Yeah, so the hard trifold cover behind us, very secure. You can lock your tailgate, and like you said, you've got all your belongings stored below. They're safe, hopefully dry, out of the elements.
All right, Nate, we're going to take the bike off here so we can get to the rack and show how we can get to the bed of the truck as well. We'll take off the drop top from Rocky Mount here. And the bike is loose, and you are free to move about the country. And now we're going to take off the actual rack itself. Now the folks from Billy Bars give you this locking tool, and you can use that, but they also will sell you one that goes on your drill or impact driver, and we know that's a whole lot easier. So I'm going to use that. Bill on the other side is going to loosen the other 2 bolts. So to get the rack off, it's only 4 bolts, Bill. Super simple. We'll move that off. You got that side off?
Got it off.
You got it. We'll lift this off. Very good. Now, you're a mechanical engineer?
I am. Yes.
So you've designed a lot of crazy stuff, really complicated stuff. So you know this is a quality item.
Made in the USA. Everything has a 3-year warranty for rust and corrosion resistant. If there's any problems, just reach out to us, and customer service is our #1 thing.
All right. Well, let's get to the pièce de résistance here. Let's check out the tonneau cover.
So there we go. We got a bunch of stuff in the bed that's secure. So all we do is take the crossbars off. The brackets stay on at all times, and latch the tonneau cover, and you can flip it open.
And that's it. You get full use of your truck, so you're not wasting all the space. And you can use a lot of things with this. In fact, you said that a lot of users even come up with their own ideas.
Yeah.
We've got the Rome Adventure case behind you there, bikes, kayaks, all kinds of stuff. And it enables you to get it up and out of the way, and you can still use the space underneath.
Like I said, it's an outdoors company, but we like to keep our truck a truck. We use it for work, hauling dirt, mulch, whatever we need to haul.
And what makes you most proud about what you're doing here?
Getting people outside. It's our main goal. We think everybody would have a happier life if they did experience the outdoors, mountain biking, hiking, whatever the case may be.
You had a guy just last week tell you how easy the Billy bars have made his life.
Yes, he actually had Parkinson's syndrome, and he was able to install the bars himself, and he reached out to us and couldn't thank us enough to, actually get a rack on his truck and use his truck.
The track, the way this installs, looks familiar to me. Is this something I've seen before?
Yeah, so any tonneau cover out there on the market usually clamps on the inner lip of the bed, much like your toppers or caps. So it's something that's been done for years, and it works really well.
And I tried before we got started here in the studio to shake this thing, and I've never seen anything so solid. Almost rolled the truck over. Billy bars are super solid. They are super easy to use. It's super easy to install. They're going to make your life a whole lot easier, make your truck a whole lot more useful. You can find them at billybars.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings and a whole lot more cool products coming up next.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by RockAuto.com. All the parts your car will ever need. BrothersTrucks.com, your #1 source for 1947 to 87 Chevy and GMC truck restoration. Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. NH Oil Undercoating, the official oil-based rust prevention system. And by Stow & Show, show off that beautiful bumper.
You are riding along with Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. Now, if you ride a motorcycle, maybe you've tried to upgrade your windshield, Ryan, you look out there, there's not a lot of options, kind of a one-size-fits-all proposition. How's that different at Clearview Shields?
So we can come in and actually tailor the windshield to fit your needs specifically. If we don't have a standard height on our website that's going to work for you, we can actually make custom heights, custom widths, within reason, obviously. The cool thing is we are the manufacturer, so everything is made in-house. That gives us a lot of power as far as making sure the quality of the product is there, the materials that we're using, and double checking everything is going to be correct when it gets shipped out to you.
Well, let's talk about the quality here. Not bagging on the OEMs here, but look at the shield that comes from it. This is the stock one here from the Harley behind us. Not particularly sturdy.
No, so we're going to use a little bit thicker material, and then we also add a recurve design, not to every model of windshield, but most of them, which is going to give a little bit more structural integrity to the windshield, and it actually provides a little bit more lift off the top edge. So you can look over the windshield, providing you a clear view of the road, while still maintaining all the comfort as if you're looking through the windshield.
And let's talk about that recurve. How much stronger does that make the windshield?
Pretty strong. I mean, you kind of take this windshield, for example. I mean, you're not going to be able to easily bend that. And once it's mounted, it's not moving at all. There's no vibration there. It's going to stay solid for, up to 85 plus miles an hour.
So for the folks at home, of course, they're watching, wondering if you make it for their bike. How many different makes and models?
So all the major manufacturers, Honda, Harley, Suzuki, Yamaha, BMW, Kawasaki, touring, cruiser, sport touring, dual purpose bikes. I think we have over 126 now models of bikes that we offer, and 300 plus different variations of brackets, styles for bikes. And counting, we're always adding new stuff too.
I know there's so many things to choose from. And a lot of folks, on the surface may hesitate because they're afraid to get something that maybe is the wrong size, maybe not tall enough, but you've got them covered, don't you?
Oh yeah, so the windshield actually come with a protective film mask on the front and back. You can actually install the windshield with that film mask on there. If it's not something you're gonna want, if the tint isn't the right tint that you wanted, the height doesn't work, as long as you don't remove that film mask, you can actually exchange the windshield, return it, and that's always an option. So we wanna know that the customer is happy with the product. That's kind of our #1 concerns.
We have 30 days to find out if it's the right one for you.
Correct, yep, and then 12-month manufacturer defect warranty.
And you guys make everything in-house?
Everything's made in-house, yep.
That ensures they're able to get the exact height that they want for their windshield, but it also ensures that you can control the quality.
Oh yeah.
How long do your shields last? I remember seeing, in the 70s and early 80s, you had these windshields are all yellowed and they're all brittle and everything like that. It's not that way anymore with plastics.
No, definitely not. So this is a high-impact plastic. It doesn't have a hardened coating on it, which allows you to use a lot more aggressive cleaners on it. One of those being Rain-X. Well, people love using Rain-X on their windshields.
It doesn't work on a lot of windshields.
Right, yep. And then it's considered a 30-year plastic. That means it's not going to yellow or craze from the UV light after 30 years. So we have customers that put 50+ thousand miles on one windshield. I mean, it's going to go for a long time. As long as you maintain it properly, it's going to last a really long time.
So let's talk about proper maintenance. What do I need to do to keep one of my Clearview shields?
Most plastic polishes are going to work. Microfiber, suede cloth, we always recommend that. If you have a windshield that's covered in a lot of bugs, we always recommend taking a towel, like a beach towel, hot water, soaking in hot water, draping it over the windshield and letting it soak for about 15 minutes just to loosen up all the bugs and debris that's on the windshield before you clean it off.
A lot of folks may shy away because of the installation process, but not too difficult. That we saw on the Harley, it was pretty easy to do.
Yeah, no, most of the windshields are pretty self-explanatory. A lot of our windshields are going to come with mounting instructions too that kind of walk you through the process. If you have any issues at all with the installation, please give us a call. We're always going to be around to help you out. Whatever questions you have, we're going to be there to answer them for you.
And can you help me too if I can't decide which shield I'm going to want for my application?
Oh yeah, so we'll walk you through the decision process from start to finish. So whatever information you want to know about the windshields, we're going to give you more than probably you want to know. Even in dialing in the correct height windshield, we have a method of actually doing that.
What are the benefits to having the right shield for your motorcycle?
So there's quite a few benefits. The long distance rider is going to love our product. You know, anybody who rides a motorcycle is going to love our product, but we want to make the windshield an extension of the bike as far as providing performance, you know, comfort, fit and finish. We're trying to provide a bigger pocket of air for the rider to sit in. So on those long rides, you're not just getting your head shaking around by buffeting, getting beat up.
Fatigue's a safety issue as well.
Yeah, exactly. So we want to make sure we have a safe product for you, but again, it's going to perform well. So it's got to look good, but it's also got to perform well. So we try to, you know, balance that out as best we can.
How do I know that the materials you're using are safe?
Every single windshield that goes out the door, every single one is going to have a hot stamp on it. So it's got our logo and DOT approval number on there. So you can actually look that up and read all about the DOT approval for this specific product.
You can make your ride a whole lot more comfortable. You can make it look a lot better too. Check them out at clearviewshields.com. We'll return with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings right after this.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, coming to you from Dragonfire Tools Studio.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. If you love off-roading, you clearly love playing in the mud, but you probably don't like cleaning it up. But Mudbusters can solve that problem. Robert, how'd you guys do it?
Well, we have designed a series of fender flares for side-by-sides that keep mud out of the cabin of the vehicle and off the people inside.
There's other fender flares out there. What are some of the things that separate yours from others I've seen?
Well, the biggest change that we have is our HMW PE plastic. It's a more durable version of the HDPE that you typically find in the market, and it makes a more durable product that's more stable and more long-term lasting.
Let's talk about that. We've seen the other HDPE plastics get brittle in the cold weather. In the heat, there's problems too.
Well, in the early days of Mudbusters, we actually used HDPE, and we had customers comment from up north that were getting their vehicles out in the very, very cold, and they were breaking parts. Also, the people in, say, Arizona that ride out in the extreme heat, they were seeing product that would droop due to the extreme heat. So we changed to an HMW PE, which eliminated both of those issues for us.
What does HMW PE stand for?
It's high molecular weight polyethylene. It's the same type of plastic as HDPE, it's just a stronger version.
Now, looking at this looks fantastic with this Polaris. How many different makes and models do you cover at Mudbusters?
We try to cover all of them that we can get a hold of. Right now, we cover a lot of Polaris, a lot of Can-Am, got some Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, got some John Deere coming out, some Arctic Cat. We try to cover as much as we can.
As the kids would say, these are pretty aggro. I don't think kids say that anymore, but these are huge and they're pretty aggressive looking. What different sizes do we have? What options do we have?
Well, for each vehicle, they're typically, I'm not saying with all vehicles, but with most of them, they have several different sizes to fit your needs. This is the max coverage set for this Polaris RZR. We offer a mud light set and a race light set, which both give you slighter coverage than what you've got here while maintaining aesthetics and giving you some coverage from the mud.
What are the key factors that people use to decide which one to get?
It's all about taste, whatever that particular rider likes as far as coverage goes and as far as how much they want them to stick out on the trails. We do have some vehicles that if they try to get into a 50-inch trail on a 50-inch machine and their Mudbusters may be too wide, so they may want to go with a coverage that's slightly less.
What if somebody has a special application or maybe a vehicle that you don't cover in a rare case?
Well, that's where our custom program comes in. If they have a vehicle that we don't cover, we try our best to get a hold of that vehicle, design it, and release it to the population. If we can't find one, sometimes we co-opt with an owner and bring their vehicle in and design on their vehicle for their specific needs. If they have a vehicle that we already make coverages for, we have a custom program that will allow you to make changes to our design. You can add width, you can add length, wherever you need it, so that it works better for you.
We talked about the resistance of the material to weather and the elements and that sort of thing. What about durability? Once these things are on here, how much abuse can these take?
All that you can throw at them typically. We've had vehicles that have been rolled over and the fender's broken and the Mudbusters have survived.
If I do roll it over and something happens to it, maybe a tree gets me or something like that, what can I do?
We have a peace of mind warranty. If you bought the set from Mudbusters and you've damaged one of the pieces, just give us a call and we'll replace that piece free of charge.
Now, you're one of the designers here at Mudbusters.
Correct.
What are some of the considerations you take in when you're designing something like this?
Well, it all comes down to what the user is going to want. Typically, when a new vehicle comes out, there's a lot of buzz on the internet, a lot of talk on Facebook about what they're running into, what kind of problems they're having. So we take that into account. We have a list of users that have specific vehicles, and we ask them what they're looking for. And then we bring the vehicle in, we design it to meet all of those needs that we possibly can, and then release that unit.
We know this is designed to your specs because you guys designed them there in-house. Where are they made?
They are all made in Tempe, Arizona, by hand.
So all in the USA, right there in Tempe.
Yep, they're all made to order. We take orders that day. We produce the product that day on our CNC cutting machines, bend them by hand, box them up, ship them out.
Now, it's not just fender flares. Lots of other stuff coming from mudbusters.com. What do you guys make?
Well, we try to make mud protection panels for any vehicle that we really see a need for. There are some vehicles out there that need a little bit of extra coverage around the radiator for mud, or around the battery, or around the gas tank, in the firewall in some vehicles.
I got one for you. I was riding one time way up north in Vermont with a buddy of mine. It was late fall. It was really chilly, and we felt a big draft coming up through there. Can you help me with that?
I'm glad you brought that up. On the Yamaha RMAX 1000, we offer a firewall protection panel that stops mud from sitting on a shelf that's in that firewall. It also allows less air to go through the firewall, which keeps the rider more comfortable in a cold climate.
I watched you install these. It was a super quick process. How's it work?
Well, in most cases, we design them to be as easy to install as possible. In the case of the fronts on this one, we just use a few rivets, and that's all there is to it. You drill a few holes, push in a couple of rivets, and you're ready to ride.
Keep the mud where it belongs. Keep it on the trail. Keep it off your vehicle, off your clothes, off your face. Go to mudbusters.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. I promise.
Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings, is brought to you by Magic Creeper, the most versatile creeper ever. Custom Auto Sound, the originator of classic car OEM fit radios since 1977. Jab Jumper, there's a big world out there. Jab Jumper will get you home. Baxter Performance Oil System Solutions, providing faster oil delivery to your engine. And by R3 Industrial Cleaning Systems. Don't hesitate. Remediate.
Tribotex comes in lots of shapes and sizes, and Pasha, there's a lot of different varieties. So break this down for me. Which Tribotex do I need for my vehicle?
Most users of passenger cars would go with the original. This is our formula that we started with, and it covers most of the market. When you drive a semi or 18-wheeler, then semi edition or big rig edition is the best fit for you. They usually have about 10 times as much of an oil, and because you have more material and engine design better, it lasts dramatically more than original in those applications. On the other side, there's all kind of the household equipment that is suitable for smaller applications. Mini, perfect for the riding lawnmower. Many people who not ready to try some new technology in full-size car, they look at small applications like a chainsaw or the riding lawnmower.
I know a lot of folks that are real hesitant to put, most folks are real hesitant to put something in their vehicle that they haven't tried before, and that's how they ease into it with Tribotex.
Yes, specifically after a winter, lawnmower that's been stored for whole winter are smoky, sluggish. They replace oil, and this is the perfect time to apply it because you will immediately notice reduction of the oil consumption, slight boost in the power, and engine just generally runs smoother, and it's safe for all applications.
What do you hear from folks that end up doing that? They put that in their weed eater or their lawnmower or something like that. What do you hear from those
We
guys?
love to see returning customers, and that's what drives our repeat sales. For us, the business is not selling you stuff for every oil change. For us, business is keeping your vehicle alive.
If you've got an engine, big or small, Tribotex can help them all. See what I did there? Check them out at tribotex.com. See what Tribotex can do for you.
Time now for the lowdown with Magic Creeper.
Hey racers at every level, from the pros down to the sportsmen, the grassroots folks. If you're doing autocross, you need a Magic Creeper. And you know why. You get to the racetrack and you're probably pitted in the grass or on the pavement someplace. horrible getting under the vehicle if it's been raining. Of course, it's going to be wet and gross if you're out in the grass. And of course, you know a regular creeper isn't going to fit the bill there. It's not going to be able to roll across bumpy pavement. It's certainly not going to be able to roll across grass wherever they put you. You know, in Seattle, when you're drag racing there, they put you under the trees. So you've got tree roots to contend with. Not a chance for a traditional creeper with wheels on it. But the Magic Creeper can tackle all of that. Put the Magic Creeper down. You stay on top of it. The Magic Creeper is going to get wet and sloppy. You are going to stay dry as you glide across the ground. And talk about gliding across the ground. You can go across tree roots. You can drop a tool. You can go right over that. If there's any kind of debris, any kind of mud, glide right over it, and the Magic Creeper, you won't even notice that you're rolling across the top of it. Magic Creeper also requires 0 ground clearance. Of course, you got projects like this, you may not be able to get your vehicle up as far, but it's always nice to have a little extra room under the vehicle. A traditional creeper is going to have maybe 4 inches or so with the casters and everything, so you'll be up close to the car. This way, with the Magic Creeper, you'll have plenty of room to work underneath. Oh, by the way, when you're working on your air pressures, working your way around the car, just use the Magic Creeper as a kneeling pad. It's going to save your knees, and over the course of a racing weekend, you're going to really appreciate what it can do for you. And throw a Magic Creeper in your tow vehicle as well, because you never know when you're going to run into trouble on the side of the road. You can only find the Magic Creeper at magiccreeper.com. There is only one authentic Magic Creeper. Go get one. And oh, by the way, that is going to do it for this episode of Motorhead Garage. We are sure glad you came along with us. We're going to do it again next week, and we hope you join us then, too. From our entire crew here at our Masters Entertainment Group studios, we'll see you next time on Motorhead Garage, presented by NHOU Protective Coatings. So long.